morning, class. Today our lesson is 104 from the book 3 for Saxon Math, and the title is Sorting Geometric Shapes. So, geometric shapes, I have a lot of examples over here in green, are shapes, what we've been looking at and studying and sorting and talking about probably since you were in preschool, but today we're going to get a little bit more technical with it. So today we have a vocabulary word, polygon. So in order for you to do this first example with me, you need to know what a polygon is. So a polygon is a flat, closed, straight-edged shape. Okay, so what it means by flat is two dimensions. It has length and width. It does not have any height. So all of these would be flat. This, my geometric solids here, these are not flat. These are three-dimensional. They would not be polygons even if they fit the other two definitions, okay? Closed means there's no open space. So let me give you a non-example here. All of these shapes are closed. Something that's not closed would be like that. It has that open space there. Or if I did a circle but didn't close it the whole way. Or maybe something like that where it's almost closed but I didn't quite finish. So none of these are polygons because none of these three examples are closed. And the final definition for a polygon is it has to have straight edges. So that funny looking shape that it is would be a polygon. It's flat, it's closed, and it has all straight edges. That would not be a polygon. It is flat, it is closed, but it doesn't have straight edges, so it doesn't fall under the classification of polygon. Okay, so our first example is to take these green shapes over here and decide what side of my table they belong on. So, is a heart a polygon or is it not a polygon? So let's take it one piece at a time. Is the heart flat? Yes. Is the heart closed? Yes. Does the heart have straight edges? No. So we said yes to both of these, but because it doesn't fit all three definitions or all three pieces of the definition, it is not a polygon. Therefore, my heart belongs over here. Okay? Next, we'll look at the triangle. Is it flat? Yes. Is it closed? Yes. Does it have straight edges? Yes. So my triangle belongs in the polygon side of the table. Next, we'll look at the rectangle. Flat? Yes. Closed? Yes. Straight edge? Yes. The rectangle can go over here as a polygon. This little piece of pizza, or it looks like a quarter of a circle, is it flat? Yes. Is it closed? Yes. Does it have straight edges? It does, but are all of the edges straight? No. This curve right here means that this shape is not a polygon. So we have to put it over here on the not polygon side. My house, this has 5 sides, so we would call this a pentagon. Is it flat? Yes. Is it closed? Yes. Does it have straight edges? Yes. So my pentagon goes over here in the polygon side. And then this, to me, that reminds me of like a sand timer. I'm not sure what it's meant to be, but is it flat? Yes. Is it closed? Yes. Does it have straight edges? Some, but not all. So these two curved sides here mean that shape has to go here in the not polygon side. Okay? So that's our first example having to do with flat shapes. And flat shapes that are closed and have all straight edges are called polygons. So poly here means many. There's no specific number. Like we say triangle, tri means 3. We say bicycle, bi means 2. Pentagon, the shape here that has 5 sides, pent means 5, so a 5-sided shape, pentagon. Here we have polygon. This just means many-sided shapes. So here we have 3 sides, 4 sides, 5 sides. You guys know the stop sign figure that has 8 sides. And what's this called? An octagon. Oct meaning 8, like an octopus has 8 arms. So polygon, many-sided shape, and then not polygons, just most of these are not polygons because of their curved shapes, not for any other reason. Okay, so our next example has to do with my 3-dimensional shapes here. So I'm going to hold them up one at a time for you, and we're going to talk about them and what they're called. So this one right here is a rectangular prism. It is made out of 6 rectangular faces. This part right here is called the face. And basically it's a box. You could find a tissue box in your house. That's going to be a rectangular prism. A shoe box would be a rectangular prism. A jewelry box would be a rectangular prism. Any type of rectangular box is a rectangular prism. Okay, the next one I'll show you. This is also a prism, but notice here my base is a rectangle. In this one, my base, the part that it can sit on, is a triangle. So we call this a triangular prism, where it's made up of a triangle on this side and a triangle on this side, but then we have 3 rectangles that connect our 2 triangles here. Triangular prism. The next one we're going to look at is a pyramid. A pyramid is made up of triangles too, kind of similar to the rectangular prism, but if you'll notice with the triangular prism, it sits on top of a triangle if we hold it the long way. With the pyramid, it sits on a square base, and then there are 4 triangles that make up its sides, and they all meet at the apex, this top point here. So a pyramid is made up of triangles and a square, but it's a little bit different than this triangular prism that has 2 triangles connected by rectangles. Okay? Next we have a sphere. It's a ball. You play with these on the playground. You might like carrying bouncy balls in your pocket to keep you entertained. Next we have a cylinder. This is like a can of soup, a can of peaches that you might get at the store. Maybe your trash can looks like a cylinder. And finally, we have a cone. So the cone sits like this. It sits on top of a circle, but mostly we think of cones this way, as in an ice cream cone. Here is your cone shape. So this question says these 3-dimensional figures are sorted into 2 groups. So I'm going to show you the groups that they're sorted into, and then we have to come up with what was the rule that the person used in order to sort these into 2 groups. So here is group number 1. Group number 1 contains the pyramid, the triangular prism, and the rectangular prism. That is group 1. Group 2 contains the sphere, the cylinder, and the cone. So notice these two groups. Actually, let me trade hands here. We have these objects in group 1, the cone, the cylinder, and the sphere. And in group 2, we have the pyramid, the rectangular prism, and the triangular prism. So, what do these have in common? What do these have in common? And what could the sorting rule have been? Well, if you'll notice, each of these has something round. The sphere obviously is very round. We have the cylinder, which is round. And then we have the cone, which is kind of round and triangular. Compare the cone to the triangular prism, or actually, better yet, compare the cone to the pyramid. They were in two different groups. I wonder why we put the cone in the group with the round things and the pyramid in the other group. They look so similar. But if you'll notice, this group, we have triangle, 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 square. Triangle is the bases, and then rectangles for our sides. And then these faces are all made up of rectangles. If you'll notice, this group consists of three-dimensional shapes that are made of polygons. We have triangles and rectangles that make up these three-dimensional shapes. Whereas this group, we have circles. Let's look at circles. We didn't put circles over here. So is a circle a polygon or not a polygon? Is a circle flat? Yes. Is a circle closed? Yes. Does a circle have straight edges? No, it does not. So a circle, even though it's a pretty typical shape, it is not a polygon. It doesn't fit this definition. So our two groups here are shapes that are made from polygons and shapes that are not made from polygons. Okay, that is the end of the examples. I have one lesson practice for you. This one wants us to make a table as well, except instead of polygons and not polygons, we're going to sort them into two groups, triangles and quadrilaterals. So, I think you remember what a triangle is. A triangle is a polygon. It's flat, it's closed, it has straight sides, and a triangle specifically has 3 sides. A quadrilateral is a polygon. It's flat, it's closed, it has straight sides, but a quadrilateral has 4 sides. Quad meaning 4, tri meaning 3, quad meaning 4. Okay? So the shapes that we're going to classify for this lesson practice are right here. That one. Here are our 6 shapes, and if you would like to pause the video right now and make your own table of triangles and quadrilaterals, when you're finished you can hit play and we'll go over the answer together. Okay, so here, what would we call that? We'd call it a triangle. So this shape has 3 sides. I don't think I drew it very well, but we're going to say it goes there, okay? Do you know what we call this one? We can count the sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we know that it goes over here. Bonus points if you remember that this is called a trapezoid. A trapezoid has 2 parallel sides and then 2 sides that are not parallel. Okay, so our trapezoid is a quadrilateral. Here's another triangle. Our rectangle has 4 sides, so that's going to be a quadrilateral. Another triangle. And then here we have a diamond. We can count 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. Diamond, or sometimes we call this a kite. Make sure that's closed at the top or else it won't be a polygon. So here are the answers to your lesson practice problem. If you are my student, now is the time that you should begin your written practice homework on page 556. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon, and I will see you again soon.